हरिः ओं श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। अभ्रमं भङ्गरहितम् अजडं विमलं सदा आनन्दतीर्थमतलं भजेताप्त्रयाभं मिथ्यासिद्धान्तदुद्ध्वान्त विध्वंसनशिखिनः जतीत्यागतनिर्भारतां नो हृदम्बरे अर्तिकल्पितकल्पोऽयं प्रत्यतिकेसरी व्यासतीर्थगुरुभूयादस्मदिष्टातिसिद्धये तपोविद्याविरक्त्यादि सद्गुणोकाकरानं वादिराजगुरून् वन्दे ग्रीवदाश्रयान् पूज्याय राघवेन्द्राय सिद्धर्मताय च भजतां कल्पवृक्षाय नमतां कामधेनवे दुर्वायुध्वान्तरवे वैष्णवेन्दीवरेन्दवे श्रीराघवेन्द्रगुरुवे नमोऽन्ययाळवे आपादमणिपर्यन्तं गुरूणामाक्तिं स्मरेत् तेन विघ्नाः प्रणश्यन्ति सिद्धिं समनोरथाः. हरिः ओं श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. We talked about the Karma Chakra in Bhagavad Gita, third adhyaya. After talking about the Karma Chakra, is there any exception that somebody doesn't have to participate in the Karma Chakra? Means that's why we talked about yastu atmaratireva syat atmasuptascha manavaha, 17th sloka we saw that. And there, for two kinds of people. One is in samsara avastha, those who are aprokshanais and also asampragnata samadhi. While they are in asampragnata samadhi, rest of the time even aprokshanais have to participate in this karma chakra. So rest of the time they don't have to. During the asampragnata samadhi they don't have to. Rest of the time they have to do karma. And the mukta jivas, they also don't participate in this karma chakra. They don't have to. There is no prescribed action for two different reasons for this. For people who are in samsara and who are in asampragnata samadhi, they don't have to participate because there is no better thing to do. That's the ultimate. The ultimate goal is to be with Paramatma. When that is happening, there is no point in doing. For mukta jivas, there is no sadhana at all, so they never have to do. So this is the difference. And then we go into the next sloka, which tells actually a kind of a extension for that. Maybe we briefly covered that. Naiva tasya krutenartho na akrutena iha kaschana na cha asya sarvabhuteshu kaschid artha vyapashrayah. This is the 18th sloka in the third adhyaya. After having told that, the reason why there is an exception for those two kinds of people, the reason is given here in 18th sloka. It says, na eva tasya, tasya means for that person. Which person? Both for asampragnata samadhi person and the mukta jiva. For both of them, for them, krutena artaha na akrutena iha. So if they do it, there is a benefit. If they don't do, there is a loss. That kind of a situation is not there for both of them. Whether they do it or not do it, it doesn't affect them. They don't have to do it for both the categories. So, nacha asya sarvabhuteshu kaschid artha vyapashraya. Artha prayodhana vyapashraya means there is no disturbance of their purpose, prayojana, or they have the purpose of life is not affected, or purpose of existence is not affected for both of them. Of course, for people who are in asampragnata samadhi, there is no more benefit, there is no extra benefit by giving up that asampragnata samadhi and doing the prescribed karma, like whatever sanjnana or whatever. It is not required for people who are in asampragnata samadhi because there is no better fruit, there is no better prayojana. And if we take the mukta jiva, same thing. There's no, they don't, they already reached the moksha. They don't even have stula deha. They have only swarupa deha. For them, there is no artha vyapa, there is no prayojana, extra benefit or some benefit getting affected. If they don't do it, if they do it, some extra benefit, both are not there for them also. So for both of the categories, there is no point in getting worked up. No need for worrying about the participating in karma chakra. Both of them, they are exempt from the karma chakra. That's basically what it is said. And after that, after those two cover those two special category people, Arjuna says, hey, okay, you are asking me to participate in karma chakra. I am not in asampragnata samadhi, so I have to participate, all right. But there are multiple ways we can participate, right? I can just go to the forest, sit and do, or I can, like whatever we were doing during disguise after Lakshagruha burning, they went and stayed in some quiet place, having a nice life. Oh, we can go and live a nice, peaceful, calm life. Why participate in the war? Why do the battle and all this? Why go through all this hassle? That question can still be asked. I will participate in Karma Chakra, but in a different way. Why should I fight the war? If such a question comes, that is answered in 20th sloka, and Krishna says to Arjuna, कर्मणा एव कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम् आस्थिता जनकादयः लोकसंग्रहम् एवापि संपश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि. Arjuna, you still have to fight the war for two reasons. One is, look at Janaka and all those kings. They also were great jnanis, and he could have done whatever he has suggested. Or some people suggest, oh, go and sit in a remote place, do some tapas or something. Janaka also could have done that, but he didn't do that. Dispassionately, without any attachment to the fruits, he performed his duties, because that is the lakshana of the jnani. He will see, oh, I don't have to do, I will not do. Hey, if I have to do, I will do. Do I have to do it or not? So he says, Karmana eva hi samsiddhim astita janakadaya. Janakadaya, things like Janaka, by through the karma only, karmana eva hi, no other way, by performing the karma only, samyak siddhi, moksha, ihaloka prayodhana, paraloka prayodhana, both are accomplished by taking part, by doing the karma, by the performance of the karma that is prescribed. Okay, doing tapas, doing yajna homas, they are also karma. I'll do that means no. The prescribed karma for your ashrama varnashrama uchita karma. You have taken up on yourself that you are a kshatriya, kshatat trayate kila kshatriya. Kshatriya means those, he protects those who are in distress. You have taken a vow that you will protect the people who are in distress. Now the people like Duryodhana are ruling. It's a great, great misfortune. People are all suffering, and people live in fear. Good people live in fear. We don't know what Duryodhana will do one day. So this kind of a fear people will have. And his evil rule, like how Draupadi incident in Sabha, a king being he should be a role model. But how wrong things he has done, so many wrong things. So as a Kshatriya, it is your duty to stop him who is a hater of Paramatma himself. Such evil people's rulership has to be stopped, and that is your duty. So, keeping in mind kings like Janaka, who are also great astikas and great jnanis and great people, they still engage themselves in proper action and did whatever is their duty. So you also have to do that. So don't say, don't even think that can go and sit in a forest and do something. No, you got to do this task of fighting the war and protecting the good and punishing the evil, because you are the adhikari for that. You have taken it upon that. People look up to you. They say, oh, Arjuna is going to save us, our Pandavas are going to save us. They are going to look at you. So you better kindle their hopes. You better stand to their hopes. You better fulfill their hopes. So this is the message for one reason. The second, I said there are two reasons. Another reason, suppose you say, okay, I'll just go sit in the forest and do the something or do some peaceful activities, means uh, you are setting an example for people. So even if you are a Kshatriya, even if you are a ruler, even if you have taken up an oath to protect the good people by fighting the evil, you can just shirk your responsibility, go away and do whatever is convenient, easy for. Now, future generations will say, Arjuna himself did like that. Why not we also do that? Such a great warrior, Arjuna, he did not fight the war. He went to a quiet place and led a normal, peaceful life. He didn't participate in the war. He didn't oppose any. Let us not oppose evil. Let us do whatever is peaceful for us. It's not whatever peaceful is to be done. It is what is good is to be done. You have to look at the goodness, appropriateness, necessity of an act, not just the peacefulness. So this is what the second message. So he says, Loka Sangraham eva api sampashyan, by looking at the being a role model for the rest of the people, you got to do kartum arhasi, you got to perform, you got to do it because others will follow you. They have, oh, Arjuna, he's my role model. Oh, Arjuna himself went away from the battlefield, I will also go away from the battlefield. That should not happen. You better do it for these two reasons. You got to do it. You are kartum arhasi. You are capable of doing it, you are fit for doing it, and you have to do it. There is no other go. So this is 20th sloka. The instruction, perfect instruction is given to Arjuna that he has to participate in that karma chakra. And that itself he elaborates in 21st sloka. Krishna says, यद्यदाचरति श्रेष्ठः तत्तदेव इतरो जनः स यत् प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तदनुवर्तते. So basically, Krishna, what he's saying is the Shrestha, a great person, a one who is fit to be a role model. You're a Shrestha means excellent person, the most befitting person, most capable person, one of the best. You're one of the best. You're Shrestha. So, whatever a Shrestha person, Shrestha means one who is one of the best, most capable or whatever. So, that kind of a person you are, whoever does that, who is actually kind of a role model for many, many people, such a person, yat acharati, whatever he does, what people do others, tat eva itaro janaha. So itara janaha, all the other people, whatever you perform, they will take that your acts, each one of your act, they will take and they'll follow it up. So be careful. That's why people also always suggest, when children are there, you have to be very, very careful because the children will ape you, they'll follow you, they'll just mimic you. If you do bad acts, children will do bad acts. So you do good acts, children will do good acts. So when others are there looking up to you as a role model, it's even more responsibility for you to act in the right and appropriate way. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, that's why yat shreshtaha acharati tat eva itaro janaha api acharanti. So, yat acharati, that means tat means tat acharanti. Itara janaha acharanti. Others also will follow it up. Why means sa yat pramanam kurute lokaha tad anuvartate. Whatever a shrestha person, most capable person, he does it by doing it as a pramana. Pramana means what? We briefly talked about it. What is pramana, prameya? Briefly, what I say, jnana, knowledge. So ma is prakrushta ma. So it is a right knowledge. And pramaniyate, that which leads us to the right knowledge, a tool for the correct knowledge. So correct knowledge is a tool for the correct knowledge, or the means for the correct knowledge is pramana. That's why pratyaksha is one kind of a pramana, anumana is another kind of pramana, agama is another kind of pramana. These are all ones that will lead us to the correct conclusion, correct understanding, correct knowledge givers, tools that give the knowledge. That's why they are pramana. So now when you do something or you don't do something, you are kind of giving them a means to follow. So there's a means for knowledge. You are the means for knowledge. People will look up to you. Oh, Arjuna did that. Let me do it. So you become a tool for knowledge, a right kind of knowledge, if you do right things. If you do wrong things, it will be wrong kind of knowledge. So people get knowledge or a tool for the knowledge, they'll form it from you. So you better do it. So right kind of knowledge or wrong kind of knowledge, Shrestha, whatever they do, others follow that. So that's why the Shrestha or the capable person, sa yat pramanam kurute lokha tat anuvartate. Whatever he does, it stands as a pramana, or a evidence, or a proof, or something that to be emulated. And the lokaha tat anuvartate, the entire world that is looking up to you, will follow your path and do exactly whatever you do. So the thought is elaborated why Arjuna has to fight the war. And then next to sloka, Krishna says, very, very nice sloka. Okay, Krishna, you are God. You are all supreme. You don't have to do anything. For you, no karma, no bandha, nothing. You don't even have to participate in karma chakra. You can be outside karma chakra and do whatever you want to do. What about you? So is that the case? You just snap out of this karma chakra? Is that what you do? I am just curious about your own thing, Krishna. If that question arises, then Krishna answers that. So name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana na anavaptam avaptavyam vartayeva cha karmani. So Krishna answers it in a very, very appropriate fashion and briefly basically saying even I do everything that is prescribed. So that's what Krishna is telling, but we'll look into it with more details in the next class, so that anybody has any questions they can feel free to ask. Hare Srinivasa, Sri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Namaskara, Guru.
Namaskar.
I have I'm not sure if I have full knowledge on the context, but I had a question when Sri Krishna goes to for peace and goes talks to Duryodhana in the Sabha, and they don't adhere to the request, and essentially they have their own refute for that. Sri Krishna shows his Vishwarupa Sandarshana, or maybe I may be wrong here, but and then he also shows the same thing to Arjuna in the battle.
Yeah.
But with all the evil that Duryodhana did, why would Krishna reveal himself to somebody like him, and also like Arjuna on the other side, when he is such a good, sincere student? He also revealed that self. Is there any reason why he did it like
Sure.
that?
Yeah, actually, even here in Gita, Bhagavad Gita, it comes when Krishna shows that Vishwarupa, he says, you cannot see my Vishwarupa with your present eyes. I'll give you Divya Chakshus so that you can see them. All right, when he goes for Sandhi, he shows the Vishwarupa. That doesn't mean they see it. He shows the Vishwarupa. Only whom Krishna gives the divine vision, only they are able to see. So Duryodhana, he just sees some heavy light and he closes his eyes. He can't even see anything. So the Vishwarupa Darshana does not happen to Duryodhana. Not only Duryodhana, it does not happen to any of the people there, including Karna. No, Karna, Duryodhana, all these people, none of them, Shakuni or Kauravas, they are not able to see. And for people like Bhishma and Drona, Paramatma gives a little, even that Vishwarupa Darshana that he gives them a glimpse of it only, not as much as what Arjuna sees. So even Bhishma Drona do not see with that much detail whatever Arjuna sees, that much they do not see. Even for Dhritarashtra, he is a blind man. For him, he says, oh, I want to see. He expresses a desire. So he gives Divya Chakshus for Dhritarashtra, and Dhritarashtra also says, but even Dhritarashtra also does not see the same details that Arjuna sees. He sees a glimpse of it, a smaller, much like a much smaller version, like a mini version of it. So they, with only those for whom Sri Krishna gave the divine vision, only they were able to see at that time. Not everybody, not Duryodhana. Duryodhana doesn't see anything at all. All these evil people, they don't see anything at all. Including Karna is not evil, but still, because he participated on the evil side at that time, even though he's a Surya Putra, even Karna does not see anything.
Understood, Gurgal. Thank you. Thank you so much for the clarification.
No problem.
Namaskar, Uncle. Sashtang Namaskara. Just a simple question. He mentions Janaka specifically. Is there something specific we should know about Janaka that leads to Krishna mentioning his name among all the kings? And
sure, definitely.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of stories about Janaka. He's called as a Punya Shloka, in the sense, of of course, a lot of people come when Janaka is sitting and listening to discourses. Somebody comes and tells him, "Hey, look, your palace is burning." Well, I'm here engaged in the discussions. The palace is not mine. I am not the owner of it. So whatever is happening, so he doesn't get perturbed by anything. That kind of a level of maturity and a knowledge Janaka had. So the reason Krishna mentions Janaka all the time is Padmapatra Mivambasa, as Krishna says, further down in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, we all have to be like, lotus leaf in the water. It's very easy to say, but it's very difficult to implement it. In the sense, just as the lotus leaf is in the water and the water doesn't touch it, it's like untainted by the water. So water is always is inside the water, but water doesn't touch it. Like that, Janaka is inside this whole samsara, and the samsara does not affect him at all. I mean, he's totally a detached attachment mood. He is able to execute it to the best extent possible. So that's why it is mentioned, like that means Krishna's Gita message is implementing. Janaka is implementing it all the time. No, Krishna did not do any Gita Upadesha to Janaka, and he is not such a great, highest form of Devata like, all Rudra or whatever. While Rudravatara, Ashwatthama himself is engaged in so many mistakes he is doing, whereas Janaka Maharaja, even though he is inside, samsara, he was leading a life with such detachment, with so it like people give different kind of examples. Like one story it goes is like what kind of a king Janaka was there means I mean this is not like exactly what happened, but his capability is like that. Suppose there is a water problem in where somewhere in a remote village. The remote village water problem is there. They come and they send a representative to the king saying, okay, we send you to the representative, you go to the village and take care of this water problem. So Janaka, no, or Janaka liking, it may not be Janaka. Janaka is capable of, so we are keeping Janaka as a kind of a role model. The representative comes and tells, we have a water problem. So the king tells the minister, okay, he has a water problem, attend to it. And the minister tells to another person tells another person, whatever. Finally, somebody, an engineer is employed or whatever, he will go to the village and he will perform whatever, fix something, the water problem is resolved. But he thinks that the Paramatma has given a prerana to all the villages to select that person. That person got the prerana to come to him, like prerana means instigation, to come to me. And the same God has given prerana to me to order to the minister, and he has given the same God has given prerana to him. The same God has given prerana to finally to the engineer or whatever. And he went to the village, and the God has given him prerana and capability to look into the problem. God as an antaryami of the water, he created the problem. But the same God as antaryami of the water again, when through the engineer he comes and he fixes the problem. So he sees the hands of Paramatma at every point. Oh, I am the one, I am the king, I am doing it. That kind of ahankara is not there. So ahankara varjita. That kind of a life he led. So that's why Krishna takes his name among all the people. Why he takes it? And not only that, in Upanishads, multiple places it comes to Janaka, he uh, gives Upadesha to great jnanis also. Some of the great jnanis, they come and get Upadesha from Janaka. Same way, Janaka gets Upadesha or instruction from great jnanis. So he lived a life that is so, what you call, role model, like something to be emulated. That kind of a life he led, and that is why Krishna takes his name. Though he did not receive Gita Upadesha from Krishna, he was leading a life that's most idealistic. That's why the Janaka's name is taken, not only by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. In lot of places, the Janaka is mentioned because of that reason.
Namaskaram. Thank you. Very, very detailed and specific answer. So very thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
Namaskaram.
Namaskara, Guruji. Guruji, now as you were talking about ego, like how one of the most essential things that we need to learn is to minimize our ego or ultimately get rid of ego completely. Now, how do we please give us some tips on how do we draw the line between self-respect and ego? Like how do we know that self-respect is getting converted to ego at some point of time?
Very practical question. Yes. Yeah. The way we look at it is ego and the self-respect. In case of self-respect, I am doing it. The confidence, a self-respect, a self-confidence, where I am doing it is there, but there that I am doing it is not I am doing it all by myself. You see, I am also doing. So you see your role as a dependent entity and Paramatma as an independent entity. So the self-confidence or self-respect, when it takes this shape where there is a higher force that is sitting on you and making you do it, but with his guidance and with not only his guidance to me, his guidance to people all around me. He is as an antaryami, he is giving instigation to people around me. So you see him also along with you, then that is self-respect. So you are not ignoring yourself. See, somebody says, oh, Paramatma is doing everything. I'm not. You are as a dependent doer, you are doing it. See, the trick of it is there is what is called Kartrutva and Swatantra. We have the Kartrutva or doership, but we don't have the Swatantra. People, they think doership is same as the independence. No, they are two different things. It's very difficult to separate them. People get confused between the two, but the doership is there for everybody. We are have dependent doership or dependent Kartrutva. And the Swatantra is not there at all. We don't have independent, because dependent Kartrutva is there. We don't have independent Kartrutva. Paramatma is independent Karta. So when we have the self-respect, you observe yourself, you treat yourself as a dependent doer, but you don't exclude yourself. Suppose somebody says, oh, Paramatma does everything, I don't have to do anything. That is a tamasic approach. That means the self-respect is not there, the self-realization is not there, confidence is not there. A person is trying to get an escape gate. So that's not right. It's tamasic. Person thinks, okay, I am also the doer, but I am a dependent doer and I am not completely excluded. I have my role. I have to do my whatever it is. And if I do only, Paramatma has chosen me to do this task. So I will do it. So that feeling that God has chosen me, through me, God wants to do it. That is self-confidence, self-respect. So I am the chosen one. So whereas Ahankara is not, you don't think you're chosen. You think you are the one. You are doing it. You don't need anybody. You don't need Paramatma. You don't need anybody. So I am, so that I only do it. That I only is Ahankara. I am also doing it is self-respect. So that is the line where the line of cutoff is. I am also is self-respect, self-confidence. I only is the Ahankara or ego. So this is quite different. There's not even like a very gray line of separation. No, there is a definite line of separation. One is I am also doing it, self-confidence. I only am doing it is the ego. So easily decipherable. And whenever it says I am the one who is doing it, that Ahankara, when it comes, you feel an elation, you ignore the rest. That is Ahankara. You don't ignore the rest. You say, hey, I am also a doer, but I am an important element in the sense God has chosen me. So this is self-confidence.
Understood. Thank you very much for the beautiful explanation, Guruji. Thank you.
Okay, no more questions. We'll see you again on Wednesday. Hare Srinivasa.
Namaskaram.
Hare Srinivasa. Sayadi Prataram Tata Yatkuromi Jagannatha Tadastu Tava Pujanam. Hare Srinivasa.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Hare Srinivasa.
Hare Srinivasa.